Today we are going to talk all about the Star Princess and Inaugural and some of the really interesting things we are seeing with offers that go with those first few sailings on the Star Princess. We're going to be going over a news story that is so much more than originally meets the eye about cruising. And then finally, the Love Boat Cruise, we've got a big itinerary update. Be interesting to see if we see this on other New England and Canada sailings on Princess this summer and fall. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Thursday. It is May 2nd of 2024. And let's start at the very top talking about the Love Boat Cruise. And I promise I'm not going to do that every day here, but we do have a big itinerary change. So first of all, the ship, if you have not been here and you're new with us, welcome. But the Love Boat Cruise, the themed cruise, is going to sail on August 31st of 2024 on the Enchanted Princess round trip out of New York. And the port schedule shows that it's going to be from the Brooklyn Cruise Port terminal there. So first of all, we are still sailing round trip out of New York there, but instead of going to Newport, Rhode Island that very next day after embarkation, we are going to have a sea day. So Newport, Rhode Island is completely off of the itinerary. The following day, we will still be in Boston, Massachusetts as planned, but the time of the port time there has been changed. We are now going to be there from 7 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon. So here are some notes that I would think you would maybe like to know about that. If you are looking to do the Freedom Trail while you're there, if you're looking to do the old trolley tours, I think it'll work perfectly. When I was just there last September, the old trolley tours buses were right there at the port waiting to pick guests up and get them going on those tours, and I'm sure they'll do it again when we go on this cruise. Another thing to know is that's Labor Day weekend there, and so it's going to be a really busy weekend there with tourists and all of the colleges there. Boston has so many colleges and universities, and they start right after Labor Day, so it's going to be super busy there in the city. And a few things to keep in mind with that. Don't forget there's traffic. And so if you do the thing on your own or you book with an independent tour guide, don't forget to allow for traffic to get back to the cruise port. Plan in some extra time there. Another thing is it's usually really hot. And so it's good to get an early start and enjoy your day and really soak up Boston. Now, the next day, instead of going to Portland, Maine, we are going to go to Eastport, Maine. We will be in Eastport, Maine from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. And that is a water shuttle port. So they'll be using the tenders to get everyone ashore. We'll be anchored there. And Eastport, Maine, I have not been there yet. So I'm excited to go see. It seems like the things that really stand out is they have quite a variety of breweries and distilleries there in town. So if you enjoy that kind of thing, you might want to visit that, and a lot of different art galleries. They've also got some, gift shops, shopping. They've got a fabric emporium. So I'm going to stick my head in there because I don't have enough fabric. And then, but it's sometimes fun to get things, from local areas. They have things that aren't available everywhere. But then another thing that stood out is they have several companies that offer boat tours. So if you want to see a little bit more on a smaller boat, that might be a fun thing to do. I also looked in there some really good options if you want to eat seafood while you're there. You can eat other food there as well, but seafood is what really stands out. So I think it's probably a really good place to try some Maine lobster and things like that. So we're going to plan. I don't see excursions out for that available yet, but we will keep an eye out for that and see what they've got to do. But definitely it sounds like a really nice place to walk around and see things. The next day we will be in St. John as we had originally planned for the Bay of Fundy there in Canada, and then the next day in Halifax, then another sea day, and back to New York. And so that gives us 2 sea days on this sailing, which originally we only had 1. And I really think that's pretty nice, especially for such a special themed cruise with having those cast members from the original TV show, Love Boat TV show on board there. It gives us a lot more time to participate in some of the fun things that they'll have going due to the special theme. So I think it's just fine, and I'm really excited. I'm excited to go see the places, and I am really excited to experience everything on board. So it's going to be magnificent. Really, it's going to be so much fun. Now, a quick note to everyone who is in our group. And during a live about a week or two ago, I had mentioned that I thought it would be really fun, and I do think it would be really fun to have a time to do the 360 dining as a group. And even if it took a couple of seatings to accommodate everyone, we'd have a fun time doing it. But you know what? That's just not going to work out. We have tried to do that. We've got a really kind Let's Go family member that's on the Enchanted Princess this week who tried to help. That's just not going to work. And so if you want to do the 360 dining, just book it on your own. Go ahead and you look in your app. It's under Experiential Dining, and just book it for the evening that you would like. If you're not familiar, Princess offers it 2 times each evening on the cruise, so you've got a little bit of flexibility. But if you don't see the time for the day that you want, just check some other days and see if you can find a day that will work well with you, because it is a really special experience. I need to get my video done about that and show you, but it is definitely worth, I think it's definitely worth doing once, at least once. We thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think you will too. Now let's talk for a minute about the headline that I saw, and we were actually able to print this off. I saw it nationally in national news in several outlets, but I also saw it in our local news, and it says stranded cruise passengers from Utah race to catch up with their ship. Well, this is really interesting. So remember, it's been like maybe a month, 6 weeks ago, there were 8 passengers who were on a Norwegian ship, and they went to a port in Africa. They were late back to the ship, and so they got left behind. They contacted the news media, of course, because that's the first thing you do when you're not happy with something, and shared their story, and Norwegian helped them get back on the ship eventually. Didn't go really smoothly, but you're traveling in Africa. And so they ended up getting back on the ship, finishing that cruise. Well, the exact same people, 2 people who were part of that group, missed their ship again in Spain. Another Norwegian ship. Clearly they like Norwegian, but they missed the ship again because they were not back to the ship again by all aboard time. So there's a few things that stand out to me about this, and I'm not giving these particular people a hard time at all. Clearly they need to start going on ship excursions or staying on board the ship. That's what I would do if I missed the ship twice. I would be like, never again. That's just me though. But please do be aware, and especially if you're new around here, that if you are not back to the ship by the all aboard time, you might get lucky on a day that the port authorities will let the ship stay any longer, and that the ship has flexibility in their schedule to stay and wait for you. But don't plan on that for a long time, and surely don't plan on it. Just don't plan on it. You're really fortunate if that happens, because usually they can't. There are a lot of rules that govern cruise ships when they're in ports or when they're anchored and running tenders. And they don't always have the flexibility to wait. Even if they have flexibility in their schedule, they don't with the port. So keep that in mind. And then a lot of times they have schedules to keep. You can't just wait around and then be late to the next place. So make sure that when you book your excursions, you know what you're going to do if you miss the ship. All right. I thought it was interesting. These people, of course, they contacted the news again right off. They're upset because like their medicine and all the other things that they need were on board the ship. If you're going to do an independent excursion, take some stuff with you so that you can at least make it for a little while. And I want to say this, as I have traveled more and more and more, I am becoming so much more risk averse when it comes to my excursions. When we first started cruising, I booked lots of excursions independently, and we still do some, but not like we used to because of the chance of missing the ship. When we were just the most recent time we were on a princess excursion and we were late back to the ship was when we were on the Iceland cruise that we went on last July. We stopped at one of the ports in Scotland and we were late. We were like 45 minutes late getting back, but the ship was waiting there. They even had bagpipers playing. They were still playing for us. But the ship was waiting because it was a princess excursion. If it had been another one, it probably wouldn't have been waiting. And so just really remember that. I feel really bad for these people that have missed the ship twice now. And so, don't let that be you, okay? Now, let's talk for a minute about the Star Princess sailings that are starting off next October. So a few things about that. I wanted to let you know that yesterday I told you that we have been moved over. So if you were booked on that August 4th inaugural and you have not let Princess know what you want to do, they're just going to move your booking straight from that August 4th over to the October 4th. If you are like that and you haven't noticed, look in your cruise personalizer, look on your app and find it and see that you are moved over. A couple of notes about that. The price is exactly the same, and we got the exact same cabin. So they are literally just moving everything over. If you want your money back instead, you need to let Princess know, and they will refund your money. So just wanted to make sure that you know that. A really interesting thing, though, is, they've got that inaugural cruise, and they've got another sailing there in Europe before they bring the Star Princess over to the United States to start her Caribbean season for the wintertime. And the thing that stands out to me is a lot of people are talking about the casino offers that are available for the sailing after the inaugural. And it's really interesting that they would have such great casino offers being able to be used on such a brand new ship like that. So I've given it some thought, and I want to hear why you think that they're doing it in the comments. But what I'm thinking is when we were on the Sun Princess, we went to see the casino, of course, and it is spectacular. It's beautiful. It's the largest casino that Princess has ever had on a ship before. Very well done. And I don't even use the casino, but I really enjoy going and seeing it. I don't know why. I just do. But anyway, it's beautiful. It's very well laid out. It's a really lovely, they did a great job with it. And so I am wondering, when you go use a casino, the odds are always in the house's favor. Right? And so they know that. And so I am wondering if they want to get people on board that they know will enjoy using the casino, to use the casino, to see it, to want to sail on those ships again, and to spend their money there. So let me know what you think. I think it's really interesting, though, because a lot of times you have to wait until a ship has sailed more in order to have that available. Another thing I'm not really sure about, and it'll be interesting to see, I was trying to look and see the availability of cabins, and it looks like there is still plenty of availability on that sailing. It's not wide open, but by no means is it sold out. So I just thought I would bring you up to date on that, see what you think about it. And thank you for joining me here today. If you are on a Princess Cruise or any other cruise line and you would feel like sending me an update, I would love to hear from you. Tomorrow I've got really exciting news about another cruise line coming online. So make sure you join me there, and I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.